Hey, Bujo babes, and welcome or welcome back. Today, this intro and outro is going to be vlog style because honestly, I can't be bothered to set my camera up again. Like, I cried earlier. So, I'm not going to put myself through that again. But if it's your first time here, my name is Crystal and Bujo Beauty stands for my love of beauty and bullet journaling. So today we are going to be setting up my November spreads and I'm really excited to share this with you guys. So let's just hop right to it.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I am super freaking excited to be sharing my plan with me this month with you. You don't even know, this has been a journey. So, real quick, I just want to mention that I did do all of the painting and glued everything in beforehand so that this wouldn't be a super long video. And also, let's just take a moment to laugh at how hideous my trees are. They remind me of something like Dr. Seuss like. Is it the Lorax? I don't know, let me know, but it's giving me Dr. Seuss vibes. I tried like cross hatching to make it better. That didn't work, but I did end up fixing it as you can see by the thumbnail, and I will tell you how I did that in a minute. So bear with me. So let me tell you about this journey. I originally wanted to do like camping vibes for November, but when I started sketching everything out, it just wasn't hitting right. And I was really struggling between doing like cute little camping doodles or something more scenic. But ultimately, I decided to take the scenic route, pun intended, and I also condensed my theme to just mountains. Honestly, I don't know why I wanted to draw like a whole camping scene because I can't draw. Like, I really don't know why I'd be doing these things to myself. But I ended up just condensing my themes to mountains because that was manageable for me. And for some reason, I also really wanted to try watercolor for this month. So I ended up doing this pinky purple blue gradient, which took me several tries to get right. I sacrificed quite a few pages from my fitness bullet journal for the sake of this theme this month. But onto the actual spread. For my quote page, I chose It's the Climb because one, I had to. Like, I just had to. That's that. And two, I feel like it's pretty relative to my life right now and my whole YouTube journey. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before, but I'm a numbers kind of girl. So it's really easy for me to get caught up in all the YouTube analytics that they shove in your face all the time. So this is just like my reminder to myself that the important things are in the journey. Speaking of journey, let's talk about how I fixed these stars. So for my stars, I used the white Software Jelly Roll in the 10 thickness. I specifically had to go to Michael's and buy this one because the 08 was not getting the job done. When I first added the stars on this spread, I went with more of the diamond shaped ones and I did the whole spread plus the brain dump spread before I realized, I don't like this. And you know what? Shooting stars would be cuter. So to fix it, I went back over everything with my jelly roll and smudged all of that out, like one by one. And then I went over that with the watercolor. And after the watercolor dried, I went back and drew the stars that you see right now. But oh my gosh, like, I had to do that for both this page and the brain dump page. And yeah, y'all, it's been a journey. So, on to my struggle trees. I definitely had to fix those off camera, but what I ended up doing was I took my Tombow soft tip because that's the one I use to like color in anything that I want to color black, and I outlined the tree the way that I wanted it to be and pretty much filled that in. And then I went over everything that I didn't want shown with my jelly roll. For the trees on the right hand side, I pretty much just covered everything with the jelly roll and then waited for it to dry. Kinda. I'm lying, I didn't wait for it to dry, but you definitely should. And then I went over that with my Tombow again, with the proper trees this time. Next up is my monthly calendar, which I kept pretty much the same as usual. I didn't want to do watercolor on both sides of the page because I'm pretty sure I used way too much water and my page was feeling kind of fragile, like it was balling up and some of the pages were moving. So I just didn't want to do it on both sides. So I have this extra paper. I think it was from my brain dump gradient, and so I just glued that in there and put the header on that. Um, and this month for fonts, I chose these tall block kind of letters and a more spaced out, elegant-ish kind of looking font. I've been super into that style lately, so it's just something that I'm trying to practice. I couldn't decide a quote to put on the top of the right page while I was filming this, but I did end up choosing "Never Stop Looking Up," and you will see that in the flip through. And I wrote that in the spaced out font that I'm trying to practice. And then I just added my social trackers on the side and the mountains on the bottom. For the mountains, when I was looking up inspo for like mountain themes, a few of the videos that I watched, they did the lines on the side of the mountain, like just for some shading, just to make it look a little, just to give it a little something, something. So I figured, yeah, that's super easy. So I just did that too. And I haphazardly did that throughout this whole theme because it's not that deep. And then I just used my white jelly roll and added the stars at the top and a bunch of dots everywhere. And I feel like this came out super, super cute. But that is pretty much it for the spread. Onto my content planner and goals page. Since I started doing my YouTube shenanigans, I've been doing all of my content planning on my monthly calendar since I don't have a ton of stuff going on right now. But this month I wanted to try having it as its own spread just because I felt like it would be easier to look at and easier to plan and move things around. So I divided my page in half, which is 14 dots across for me. And then I have my section for YouTube and Instagram. For my page header, I took some pages out of my fitness bullet journal like I had mentioned earlier, and I painted the gradient on those and glued those in because at this point I had decided that I don't want to use watercolor in my journal anymore because I felt like I was just using way too much water and I didn't want to ruin my pages. So I just took some out of my other bullet journal because all my journals are A5 size, so it was fine. But yeah, I took an extra like 2 pages out and painted the gradient on both of those pages and just cut those for like any sections that I needed it for. For my goals page, I use the spaced out font for my main header and the block font for the subheaders. For the little boxes, I just use some cutouts from my brain dump or the extra page. I really don't remember at this point, but it was one of them. And then I added the mountains just to tie everything in together. And the top of the page was looking a little bare, so I ended up adding some washi tape. And the washi tape that I use is from Shop Amanda Rachel Lee. They are so freaking cute, especially the star washi tapes because they sparkle so pretty when you put your flashlight over them. Like, I can't stop looking at them. I love them so much. And then I just added the stars, just to tie everything in. Onto my brain dump. So this page was actually the first one that I painted, and I was originally going to use these for my cover page and just cut it out around the mountains. But I ended up deciding to paint the cover page. So I had this whole 2 page spread that was already painted, and I just thought it'd be super cool to have that as the backdrop for my brain dump. So I cut just what I needed and glued that in. For the header, I used both fonts again, and I put it in the same placement that I do pretty much every month. And like I had mentioned, I also had this page done with the stars that I didn't like, so I fixed it the same way, and of course it's smudged. And we can't forget the mountains. Since this was a 2 page spread and I had the space, I did the same kind of layout as the cover page, and that is pretty much it for my brain dump. I can't decide if I want to add some texture to that little path in the front of the mountains or if I should just leave it alone. Let me know what you guys think I should do. I'm leaning more towards leaving it alone because I'm lazy, but I don't know, I feel like the texture would give it a little bit of something something. Alright, so on to my habit tracker and budget planner. I was watching one of Amanda Rachel Lee's videos and I saw this layout that she did in her August bullet journal setup, which, side note, is super freaking cute. I aspire to have a bullet journal like Amanda's one day. But anyways, I thought this layout was really cool, so I just adjusted it for what I needed, and I really, really love how it turned out. My camera stopped recording because it hates me, and I didn't notice because I'm dumb, but I ended up putting some mountains in between the headers and some washi tape at the top and bottom, and I also added some drop shadows to the boxes because it was just looking kind of plain, but you will see all of that in the flip through. I also did my weekly spread and that didn't record either, but I used some more scrap pieces of paper as the headers for the days. I added a star in the right corner and then put the dates in the star, and then I just put some dots all around, just to make it kind of cute. All around, just to make it kind of cute. So here's the final flip through. I really, really, really freaking love how this turned out. It's just so calming and relaxing, and I can't wait for November so that I can fill up these pages. I hope you all enjoyed, and let me know what you think.
Alright, so that is it for this video. If you like these spreads, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below which spread was your favorite, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!